Before you apply to any deferred MBA program, whether it's Harvard 2+2 or the GSB or Wharton or any other program, please watch this video. Welcome back to MBA Monday. I'm Angela, your MBA guide as you chart your course to the career of your dreams through business school. If you are currently finishing your undergraduate degree and are getting ready to apply to a deferred MBA program that allows you to gain acceptance this year, go to work for 2 or 3 years, and then return to your MBA program, you need to watch this video. It's a very different ballgame than just regular admissions. Different rules apply. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you what those rules are and how you can make sure that you submit your very best candidacy to deferred MBA programs. Stay tuned to the end, and I'm going to tell you the 3 questions that your MBA application needs to pass before your submission ready. First things first, I applaud you. Deferred MBA programs are such amazing opportunities. If you've got your stuff together well enough to finish your undergraduate degree and complete MBA applications at the same time, good for you. It means that you're going to have a very easy exit ramp from the first stage of your career into business school. It means that you're not going to have to worry about applying to grad school when you're working full-time or dealing with those tests later on when you're really just trying to get by at work. It creates a lot of opportunity for you in terms of networking during the first 2 or 3 years of your career before you matriculate. It's truly, truly a wonderful opportunity if you can apply and get into business school right now before you launch your career. But to be successful in this process, you have to understand how it looks from the perspective of the school. If you think about what it means, the majority of an MBA class is being chosen right before they matriculate. It's a just-in-time acquisition. So applicants live out the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years of their career. They build up a track record of success. They're able to differentiate themselves from a vast array of other applicants that are just like them because they have time to expand and mature and grow as professionals, to develop their vision, and to build a platform for leadership that will serve as the core of their MBA applications when they apply in 3, 4, 5 years from now. You, on the other hand, are asking the school to buy you blind. You've got whatever track record you've got, but if you're applying to a deferred program, that means that you are basically a full-time student and have been a full-time student for the majority, if not all, of your career thus far. You may have had internships, you may have even had part-time or full-time work during your studies, but you haven't yet been out in the real world where you're living on your own, you're navigating the political hierarchy of an organization by yourself, and you're building your career trajectory without the safety net of your school and being a full-time student behind you. That means that you're a much riskier candidate than a full-time applicant, because what you're asking the school to do is to commit to you today before you've really had the same chance to build a track record as everyone else will have who's applying at the time that they're going to matriculate. So in other words, the rest of your classmates will have had a lot more time to build their track record than you will. That's a risky proposition for schools because any number of things can happen in the intervening 2 years. You might not be as successful as you seem to be today. You might decide to not take work seriously and just coast onto campus. You might face meaningful setbacks that are out of your control that make you a weaker candidate in 3 years than schools would otherwise predict based on your profile today. So that means if schools are going to accept you today, they need to believe 3 core things about you so that they can be willing to take that risk. The 3 things that schools have to believe about you to be willing to accept you now are as follows. Number one, they need to believe that you've established a strong enough track record and trajectory thus far in your life that will carry you over the next 2 or 3 years to continue to be a standout applicant against your talented peers. That means your foundational profile has to be rock solid. You need really strong grades, really strong test scores, really strong community service and extracurricular activities, and ideally, really strong professional trajectory to date, including internships, other professional, either part-time or full-time work opportunities, ideally at reputable companies, and ideally with the backing of really strong recommenders. That means that whatever you have to show today for your career needs to be as strong as it can possibly be. By the way, if you'd like a really in-depth profile assessment on where you stand today vis-a-vis other MBA applicants, check out our MBA X-ray service. You can sign up for it here at the link or in the description below. You'll work one-on-one with an MBA coach, me included, to assess all the aspects of your profile to understand where it's strong, where you might want to try to strengthen it, and how you can present that profile so that schools know that even today, even 2 or 3 years before you matriculate, you are going to be a very strong member of your class in 2 years' time. The second thing schools need to believe about you to be willing to admit you today is that you're already unique. You're already going to bring something very special to the class that they can't get just anywhere else. Because even if you're a strong applicant, if you're not clearly differentiated, if you don't have a spike, then they're going to let your candidacy ride. They're just going to say, well, this person is a really strong applicant, but we can't yet see how they're going to uniquely add to the class. So we're going to reject them and give them 2 or 3 more years to build their spike, to build their unique platform so that we can understand the value that they're going to bring to this class of 900 or 450 or 600 students, whatever the case may be. This means you need to have a clearly defined spike. I talk more about how to find your spike on my Instagram, link down below to watch that reel. The third thing that schools need to believe to admit you today, rather than waiting 2 or 3 years and forcing you to come back and reapply, is that the deferred MBA program actually makes sense for you rather than applying later. In other words, applying to the deferred program for you now can't just be a hedge for career uncertainty in the coming few years. It has to be an integral part of your overall plan, that you're gaining admission today, doing something in the intervening 2 or 3 years, and then returning to business school. This has implications for what your career goals should be, what work you should be looking to do in the intervening years, and what risks you may want to be taking in your intervening career game plan to make the deferred MBA program a really worthwhile commitment for you and for the school. Again, if you want to take on where your career game plan stands, sign up for our MBA X-ray service at this link right here. Let's go back to the idea of a spike, because this is what's going to move the needle for the majority of you watching this video today. If you've already decided to apply to a deferred MBA program, likely your profile is already pretty strong, or it is what it is. You can make a little bit of a difference in the coming weeks, but your profile likely is more or less set in place. Likewise, while you can continue to develop your career game plan and continue to strengthen the case for why the deferred program is right for you, that's a matter of communication strategy and the goals that you've already laid forth for yourself. The spike, however, is really a matter of self-awareness. Each and every one of us is unique. This is why I'm sitting here every single week talking at you, trying to help you achieve your career dreams, because each and every one of us has a meaningful and unique role to play in the grand ballet that is life. As the world is evolving quickly, as things are changing, as what business is and does and means evolves, you too have a contribution to make. And only you can make the contribution that you're here to make. No one else can do that because each of us is truly unique. And so understanding what your special sauce is, what your unique spike is, where you are differentiated from everyone else who's applying to business school is a critically important step on your journey to gaining admission, to shaping your goals, and to achieving your dreams. When we work with our clients, one of the biggest aspects of our process is really helping you see and understand that spike within yourself. And it can be really hard to differentiate for yourself because you're you. You don't know what other people do or how other people think or what other people love or what they're obsessed with. But indeed, you need to find a way that you are special and different. And this is one of our specialties at MBA Protocol. So if you'd like to work directly with me or another coach on this team in building your deferred applications, please request a call at mbaprotocol.com/MBA. If you want to check out some key questions that I would ask you to help you identify your spike, head on over and watch my reel about it on Instagram. And once you've done that, you need to make sure that your MBA application can answer these 3 questions in the affirmative. Question number 1, would a stranger understand your spike in 5 seconds looking at your resume? Question number 2, do your recommenders know the exact stories that illustrate your spike, and are they prepared to tell them in your recommendation? And number 3, could you explain why the deferred MBA is the right path for you, given your specific spike and where you see that going over the course of your career? If your deferred application can answer yes to all 3 of those questions, then you'll be doing the very best that you can do to win one of those precious deferred spots in your favorite MBA program. I am rooting for you, and I hope that you will come back here every week to get more tips to apply to deferred programs and to make the very most of your career through the MBA and beyond. I'll see you next week. Sorry, itchy nose. Head on over to angela.guide. I think it's angela.guide.